Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon, and look at how misty and dark and kind of creepy it is today. So, this video is going to post on New Year's Day 2023, and the topic is going to be gradual, not brute force. So, I'm going to enjoy it while it's creepy and the sun hasn't broken through. It's still a beautiful day on this planet. Does anybody else want a pain-free 23? I know we all do. The cool part is it's possible. Alright, it's starting to drizzle a little bit. If it starts to rain hard, I may have to run inside or hide in the gazebo or something. But, so, when I talk about gradual, not brute force, I'm kind of talking about resuming activity, you know? Because for a long time, many of us with chronic pain, we didn't do quite as much as we may have before the chronic pain or symptoms set in. And for some, you know, they've gotten as far as bed rest and housebound or couchbound or really not doing much at all, not working, not doing whatever. And, you know, I know one of the recommendations I have is go live your life. And to people who have been significantly limited due to their symptoms, the concept of go live your life is seemingly out of reach or appalling, or Dan, you have no idea what I'm going through. You want me to just go live my life? And so that's where the topic comes in. Gradual, not brute force. You know, if you've had significant pain for a long period of time, brute force would be the equivalent of saying, screw it, I'm just going to go run through excruciating pain. And for anybody who's read Steve Ozanich's book, The Great Pain Deception, that was actually his strategy. And I will tell you, I don't recommend it. Because for many people, the vast majority of people, that would be a setback. You go out running, excruciating pain hits, you keep on running. What is the brain doing? Saying, hey, I'm warning you of danger, you shouldn't be running. And we're saying, I'm ignoring you. What is the brain going to do? It's going to turn up the volume on the danger warning, aka the pain. And so brute force, in my opinion, is usually not a really solid strategy. Can some people do it? I guess so. But this is not a process that is controlled by our conscious brain. You know, the subconscious is really the one determining whether or not pain or symptoms exist and how intense they are. And the more perceived danger there is, the louder those symptoms will become. And so, do you think brute force, I'm just gonna go do this stuff and I'm gonna tough it out and I'm gonna push through it? Do you think the subconscious brain that's just trying to keep us safe is going to perceive that brute force, tough it out, as safe? Or is it gonna say, I need to warn them harder because they're not paying attention to the warning? So there's a fine line here. You know, brute force is not the way. But staying on the couch or staying in the bed is not the way either. So that's why I talk about a gradual approach. You know, ease back into things. Do things a little bit at a time. It will take some bravery. It will take some courage to step out and do things you haven't done in a while. But expect the best. Expect that you can do it. And one of the things I've said often, and I hear people say, is, you know, I went out and did something I haven't done in a long time. Were the symptoms there? Yes, absolutely. But I probably would have hurt if I stayed home. And what happens is, little by little, gradually, not brute force, gradually, people start doing more and more. Then they realize, well, I'm no worse off. So the reason this is important is because we don't want to overwhelm the subconscious brain with stuff that says, I'm not paying attention to the warning. Look, you can say, I hear the warning signal, but brain, I'm really not in danger. There's really nothing horrible going on here. So I'm going to go take this short walk, this gentle walk. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be. Now, for anybody who wants a little bit more of a deep dive on the gradual reintroduction of activity, foods, etc., there is a video called 6 Steps to Resuming Activity, but here's a snapshot. Visualize yourself doing the activity pain-free. And if trying to visualize that brings up a feeling of anxiety, keep on doing that until you can visualize it without the anxiety rising. Because I know I've talked to people and I say, oh, visualize yourself sitting down in a chair at a restaurant. And they go, oh, I can't do that. I haven't done that in 2 years. Okay, so you're not ready to go sit in a chair yet because the fear level, the anxiety level of sitting in the chair says that's dangerous. And what do you think the brain's going to do if you do something that the brain already is convinced is dangerous? It's going to turn up the volume of the symptoms, which is why we've gotten into the situation where some people can't sit, some people can't walk, some people can't do, a million things. So the first step in gradual reintroduction is to be able to practice it mentally and rehearse it in your head without getting that overwhelming sense of fear and anxiety about doing this said activity or eating that food, for example. But at some point, you're going to need to be willing to do that activity, take that first step, and here's the thing. You may feel the symptom if you do that activity. The most important part at that point is how you choose to respond when or if that symptom does show up. Because if you go running back to the bed or the couch to say, I knew that was going to be bad, I must have hurt myself, you're confirming the brain's perception of danger, and therefore this cycle will continue. But what would happen if you could visualize and practice mentally in your head doing this activity, and you do it a little bit, gradual exposure, the symptom shows up and you go, I know what's going on. Brain, you still think that's dangerous. But it's really not, because all I did was I took a walk around the dining room table, and I'm trying to teach myself that walking is safe. I didn't fall, nothing bad happened, so brain, why are you turning up the symptoms? I know why, because you still perceive that as dangerous, but really, it's not. I've done the assessments, I know what TMS and perceived danger, pain, or symptoms are, and therefore, there's nothing dangerous. And if you can respond calmly and reassuringly to yourself, consistently doing that, not freaking out if the symptoms show up, that can become a positive, corrective experience. I've said before, and I'll say it again, in order to eliminate the pain, you have to be willing to feel it. If you want to eliminate the symptoms, you have to be willing to experience them. Because it's only when symptoms or pains are present that you have the opportunity to show through your response that I'm not concerned with this, brain, so why are you? You see how that works? If you constantly are avoiding the pain at all costs and laying down and barely doing anything that could bring about the symptoms, your brain's not going to learn that you're safe because you are, by avoidance, confirming the brain's perception that bad stuff's going on. You're doing something you shouldn't be doing. And so, you have to be willing to experience the pain or symptoms in order to eliminate them. So the key is expectations up front. Visualize yourself doing it successfully. And if you can't, keep practicing it until you can visualize it. Then do the thing gradually, a little bit at a time. You can expand it each day, a little bit more and more and more each day. And then the real key is how you choose to respond if symptoms do show up. And I've seen people go from not being able to sit to doing a 3-hour car ride 2 months later. Wow, somebody's shooting guns over there. All right. So, Sorry, that's distracted me right in the middle of my video. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Somebody on a farm over there is practicing target shooting. So, not brute force, gradual. Look for that 6 steps to resuming activity, but I did just walk you through it here. Expect the best, gradual exposure, and if the symptoms show up, easy, don't worry about it. It's not a problem, because you did not just harm yourself. And if you are still convinced that, oh my goodness, I did too much, I must have injured my body, probably not on board with and believing that TMS or your brain just perceiving danger is the cause of the symptoms. But it is. And look at that, the screen is starting to get a little bit fuzzy because it's rainy. So that's what I got for you today. If you would like a pain-free 23, you'd like a little jump start with that, I'm going to strongly encourage you to join the Pain-Free You group coaching program, which includes a video course which maps out all of my concepts. The course is there. There's a couple PDF documents. But the key is that there are weekly group coaching calls. And as the number of members grows, I will be adding more sessions. So right now I've got 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is New York City. But guess what? As the numbers grow, I'm going to probably sprinkle in some other calls during the week, which basically means there will be 3 or possibly 4 different times when you can kind of jump on a Q&A session with me, hear some success stories, learn some strategies and tips on implementing these concepts, get the support of myself and the other members. And so, if you will, if the times when I run these sessions are a challenge for you, comment below and let me know when would be more appropriate for these sessions to happen. What day during the week, what time, and mention your time zone so I can kind of do those calculations. Can't make any promises there, but I will say that just due to my inability to handle a lot of one-on-one coaching calls and my desire to help a lot of people, I'm really going to put a big focus on the group because I'm seeing tons of people doing well in the group. And if you do sign up for the group, show up, participate, engage in the group. Because, you know, there are plenty of people who sign up and a month later they're out. I've never seen them on a group call. They don't engage on the Facebook page and they cancel, and they're not doing themselves any favors unless they just join to get the video course. They got that and they moved on, but the people who get better fastest are the ones that engage in the group. They participate, they ask questions, they share their little progress reports. You can do this too. And if you're not great with groups, it's okay. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can just listen. You can ask questions, and you still don't have to turn your camera on. You may not even have to talk if you don't want to, but there's a way to submit questions through the membership site. But look, if you really want a pain-free, 2023, really going to encourage you to join the group. And probably in the next couple weeks, I'm going to start expanding the number of sessions per week. Instead of 2, it'll go to 3 or 4. So there will be different days, different times of day, so we can accommodate folks from around the world. And that's really going to be my focus moving forward, is more group sessions, more group members, and more people getting pain-free in 23. So check it out, painfreeyou.com/join. The details will be there, and as I announce new times, I'll make that known through these videos and through some Facebook or YouTube posts, but I will definitely update that page, painfreeyou.com/join, with the times that these sessions will run. So hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a fantastic and safe New Year's Eve wherever you are in the world. Love you guys and gals. Hope to see you in the group. And as usual, I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.